Now, the number one reason why so many kids with low GPAs and test scores get into top colleges is because they think that they're low, but they're really not. 3 different kinds of students can be academically competitive. This is really how you tell if you even have a shot, at even when your grades are low. So what you do is you find the stat for admitted students, and you get 3.8 GPA this year. Now, on a scale of your GPAs, here's where it makes a difference. You have to be within the middle 50% range. If you're within that range, you're over the hurdle. Now, the thing that most people do wrong is that they'll say, okay, if the average GPA is 3.8, then I need to get a 3.8. In fact, a lot of admissions officers will say the same thing, and that's a big misnomer. So if you look at this number right here and find the middle 50% range, you'll be in the money. Again, if you're over the hurdle, you're good, but depending on how competitive your school is, that group might be really, really small. Now, the thing that most people don't understand is that once you're over the hurdle, it doesn't matter how high you go over it. So if you make it over with a 3.5, that means that you are just as academically competitive as your class valedictorian. And to the college, even though one has a higher GPA, the only place that really matters is your scholarship and financial aid. But only for the cases of admissions, no difference. Now, what happens if you have a low GPA and you don't make the mark? Well, there's a chance, but here's what you have to do. First thing is that you have to show that there's some kind of condition. It could be an internal thing, it could be an external thing that is affecting you. And if anyone else, despite your best efforts, was in your shoes, then they could be expected to equally sink, to your level of performance. Because then that way, no matter what you do, it's not just laziness, because laziness will just kill you. You're dead on the spot. So if you can explain that, you get exonerated. Even with a low GPA, you can get into a top school. Now, here's the thing. Usually when you have this happen, there's a rule of thumb. It has to be a scale. For every bad semester you have to have one good semester. It has to balance out. 3 different kinds of students can be academically competitive. The class valedictorian, the kid who barely slips in over the hurdle, and the kid who didn't make the hurdle but can still exonerate his or her circumstances. Once that happens, you realize something. There's way more kids who meet the hurdle than the college has room to accept. And this is where it gets crazy, because how do they make decisions? And this is where people go, pretty much nuts over college admissions, wondering, why him, why me? Was it this, was it that? So first of all, let's go back to the culture fit test. This is the one that after you pass the hurdle, you go on to this test, which most people don't realize that they're in. So the reason why, again, most students get rejected with top grades is that they feel that their grades or test scores will speak for them. And then when it comes to the second test, they just don't show up or they stop trying.